I walked with the monks for 2,300 miles. I was stuck in my body. I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. I literally could not escape it. I can track the tools I used to help me navigate that all back to principles of Buddhism. One of the first reasons us ambitious people will fail is because we can't regulate our minds. We burn out, we numb out, we multitask every day, and we claim it's just how I am. It's just the stress I'm under. It was damn hard to bite my tongue. This isn't optional. An unregulated mind will drain your energy, will ruin your relationships, and eventually the thing you're trying to build. Quick PSA, because I have to name the moment we're living in. At the time that I'm recording this podcast, it's January 25th of 2026, and we've all been feeling really heavy recently in the United States and in the world. The past couple of weeks and months, ICE agents have run rampant in Minneapolis and many other major cities, undertrained and violent. Our constitutional and human rights are blatantly being violated in the streets. I'm really proud of my home, Minnesota, in Minneapolis, because 2 days ago, more than 50,000 individuals showed up for a protest in Minneapolis, and the temperature gauge read -10 degrees. But that's not the feel-like temperature. It was even colder. I don't know if you understand how hard it is to get out of the house at -10 degrees. How it hurts to breathe and to shout at -10 degrees. I wish I could have been there. This episode isn't about just peace as some cute idea. It's about regulating your thoughts in your mind when everything wants to hijack it around you, so that you don't spiral, so that you don't harden, and that you can face the situations we're facing with a clear mind. And I know that there are a lot of young people who are watching this, and I want to remind you, young people and the voice of the people are who changed the world. Young people set culture faster than any institution can. Young people are the most connected. Young people are the most resourceful. So keep using your voice. I want to read you a quote from a book I recently read called The Originals by Adam Grant. Realize you're not alone. Remember that if you don't take initiative, the status quo will persist. Focus on the victim, not the perpetrator. In the face of injustice, thinking about the perpetrator fuels anger and aggression. Shifting your attention to the victim makes you more empathetic, increasing the chances that you'll channel your anger in a constructive direction. When we become curious about the dissatisfying results in our world, we begin to recognize that most of them have social origins. Rules and systems were created by people, and that awareness gives us the courage to contemplate how we can change them. You have a say. Use your voice. And after this episode, you will have more tools to use your voice more effectively. I walked with the monks for 2,300 miles from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. on their walk for peace. Okay, physically, I probably only walked with them for about 120 feet because I was filming them. But metaphorically, I'm walking with them all the way there and beyond. And you'll find out what that means by the end of this episode. I'm bringing this podcast episode to you because one of the first reasons us ambitious people will fail is because we can't regulate our minds under the immense pressure of our ambition. We burn out, we numb out, we multitask every day, and we're spiraling, and we sabotage what we're working on. We sabotage our relationships, and we claim it's just how I am, or it's just the stress I'm under. We replay a moment from last week like it's happening right now. We tell the story to 3 people, then 4 people. And then we still feel the itch to tell more, say it more, vent more. Do not mistake that for processing. And your self-inflicted drama is sucking up all of your energy and your time. And our energy is one of those resources we have to conserve with all of our might. Because every day there are countless things we can give our attention to. Work, school, relationships, the For You page, doomscrolling. The thing that happened last week, the thing that happened last year. It is constant. And I used to feel like I'm going crazy right now. What do I do? How do I manage this? And the reason I'm bringing monks into the conversation about ambition is because the ancient wisdom from Buddhism, from Stoicism, has helped me navigate life when it gets real, when it feels like it's falling apart. And just to be clear, I'm not attached to a label. I'm not Christian. I'm not Buddhist. I don't consider myself any of these labels or names because that's not the point. The institution is not the point. The point is that you can pull wisdom and lessons from everywhere and apply it in your life in a way that works for you. That's the point. So I accidentally met the monks on the 78th day of their journey, of their walk for peace. For a little background information, I was in Charleston, South Carolina with my boyfriend. We just got done filming one of my favorite events of all time called Rail Jam. And the day before Rail Jam, I saw on Instagram that there were monks in Colombia. And I didn't pay much mind to it other than like, damn, I want to meet the monks. You know, I saw that and I was like, that'd be cool. I just assumed it was Colombia, the country, and moved on with my day. We filmed Rail Jam. It was the next day. And I see my friend Megan from Charleston, her story. She's like, we're on our way to go meet the monks. And I text her immediately because I was like, wait. You mean the monks on their walk for peace? And I'm like searching suddenly. This is the day I should be organizing footage and I'm supposed to be hanging out with my sister and I have to go. I've always wanted to meet the monks, really. And the wisdom that they use has really changed my life. It was something I walked away from with a tear in my eye. We pulled up and there were hundreds of cars. It was so busy. The red on the map was wild. For more than a few miles, it was just traffic of them approaching. And I asked the officer, I was like, is it okay if I fly my drone? Yes, that sounds okay. And so I filmed them with the drone coming up, and then I get geared up and I go film them with my camera on the ground. At this point, they've collected a lot of attention. They have over 1 million followers on their Instagram page, on their Facebook page, individually. And obviously there's probably not hundreds. There's thousands of people here to meet them and greet them. And they're lining the streets and there's crowd control, there's tape. And there was so much respect. We have to understand that when someone puts that effort in, walks hundreds of miles, thousands of miles to meet us somewhere, respect is natural. Respect is automatic. And there's a lesson in life for that. And then it was pretty cold outside, and they had a speech inside of the building. They only allowed a few hundred people inside. And I was lucky enough to be chosen to go inside. And they did their speech, and it was very special. And they handed out these peace bracelets as a reminder that we met the monks and to bring peace throughout the world. So I'm going to take you all right along that journey with me. I have footage from that room. I have the audio from that room and the faces of people from that room. It was really special. And I really am so excited to share this with you. Oh, and if you can watch this, I would highly recommend watching it. So if you can watch this, I would highly recommend watching it. You can see the monks speak. You can see as they show up. I'm always going to have visuals along with my podcast in some way, shape, or form. So within that facility, one of the monks gave a speech, and it was beautiful. And you could find that speech anywhere in its entirety on their page. But I recorded the audio. And during this episode, I'm going to play out bits of the audio and then kind of just reflect on that with you guys and how you can apply that in reality, in your daily life. But guys, it was magical. It really was. And I left it with a tear in my eye. It was so special to be there, to hear from them. And after all the shit I've been through with my knee and moving across the country, being all alone, facing depression and the anxiety of running a business and the pressure of running a business, really, I can track the tools I use to help me navigate that all back to principles of Buddhism. Just a little bit more background information about the monks. They started walking on October 26th of 2025 aiming to reach Washington, D.C. around mid-February 2026. The route is roughly 2,300 miles long. It's planned to take about 120 days, and they're holding multiple public stops where they can share teachings throughout the day on mindfulness, compassion, unity, and healing. And their mission, why they're walking, they want to call attention to the practice of peace and love, and spread this unity within all of us, within their stops. And dang, they're doing a great job. Each step they take, it's exponential growth. So I would highly recommend giving them a follow. If you look up the Walk for Peace USA, you can find them across any channel. I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding who are monks. Many individuals listening or watching to this have never met a monk. We have to realize that monks might have had an average life before, just like you. Not all of them. There is a variety of ways that some monks live, but the general way is they reduce their comforts. Monks live in a community and focus not on comforts, not on things, but discipline of gratitude for what is, relentless acceptance. But you don't have to live like a monk to think like a monk. You don't have to necessarily meditate for 3 hours a day to embody the wisdom that monks hold. The discipline sounds really intimidating, but I guarantee you apply some of these practices in your daily life, you're going to save yourself an immense amount of suffering and energy. So with that, let's get into the audio.
We walked 78 days, over 1,500 miles, step by step. That is why we get here. We cannot run, we cannot do anything else except walk. Mindfully walking every step. There's one thing in our house that you could see yourself every day, but you cannot see your mind. So today I will share with you that you can use that object to see yourself and then reflex your mind. That is you using every day. Do you know what it is? The lever? Yeah, the phone is a lever, but not the one that I'm talking about. The mirror in your bathroom. Yes, that mirror in your bathroom that you see yourself every day. But you cannot reflex your mind, yourself, your inner child. We just want to see this outer body only. Try to do things to take care of this body to make it look good, to see if there's any pimple on our face. And then when something on our face, we kind of sad and stressful when we cannot remove them. Is that right? Yes? You know, every day when we use the sink to brush our teeth and to wash our face, we splash water on those mirrors, right? And then when we brush our teeth, the toothpaste stick on that mirror too, right? How many of us actually clean the mirror every day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, around 10 people out of hundreds people that actually clean the mirror so that we can see ourselves better. Is that right? And for the rest of us that didn't clean the mirror, When you prepare, when you wanted to clean it, how difficult it is to clean it, to make it clear and glossy. How difficult. It will take a lot of time, isn't it? Is that right? I want you to answer my question. Is that right? Yes. But if you, by the time when you brush your teeth and you wash your face, the water and the toothpaste stick on it, if you just get a piece of cloth and wipe it over, how easy is it? Very simple and very easy without any effort. Is that right? Yes. But no, we don't want to do that. We really don't want to do that. We want to do something hard, difficult. That is why we let it stick day after day. And then when we cannot see ourselves anymore, and then now is the time for us to clean it up. And now that we have to go to the market to try to find some chemical that actually can clean it to make it clear and glossy. That is how we are. Our mind is the same.
Every time someone says something hurtful, we carry it around like evidence, as if it's a fact about me. It's the thing that's making our mirror that much dirtier. But we have to remember, what someone says isn't the all-telling truth. It came from their perception of the world. And more people than we think have a pretty dirty mirror themselves, right? And when that happens, when we think about what they said every day, when we carry that into our conversations, into our work, we're actually smudging our mirror. We're making our mirror dirtier. And remember this, when you're looking through a dirty mirror, you're not seeing yourself clearly. You're not seeing reality clearly. In my business, at the beginning, it's really easy to underprice yourself. I was buying into many of my doubts, one of them being, I'm not worth very much. I let that stick on my mirror. And therefore, I underpriced my work, leading me to burnout, number one, or number two, the client literally passed me by. The potential client literally passed me by because I didn't have a market understanding of what general rate was. They were like, a lot of people know once you get to that point, you kind of get what you pay for.
Like I already mentioned this, when we walk there, people curse at us, shout at us, step on the gas pedal so the black smoke cover all the venerable monks. And then we just look at it and we smile, and I react. All venerable monks didn't react, but I did, really bad. I said, may you be well, happy, and peaceful. This is how we should react to any incident, anything in our life. That makes our days much better and much peaceful. We don't need to fight. We don't need to do anything. Just observe it. Just take it. It's okay. If we happy to receive gift, then we should be happy to receive all these things too. Don't reject it, because it's ours. We have created it in the past. That's why it's come back to us. It's fair.
So when you're driving, someone flicks you off, cuts you off. Do you then ride their ass? Do you then try to catch up to them so you could flick them off back? No. Listen, the last time that happened to me, we both got stuck at a red light, even though they cut me off and flicked me off. I have no idea why. We both got stuck at a red light. And you know what I did? I gave them a thumbs down. Because if you give them a thumbs down, it's a little more passive aggressive, makes them feel a little more guilty. Okay, fine. Actually, the next time this happens to me, I'm giving them a thumbs up. Like this monk. It's all good. We're good. I'm good. It's good. I used to face a situation similar to that and carry it with me all day. Why did that person hate me? Why did they do that to me? What do they have against me? This dialogue is running through my head all day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and I'm telling someone about it. I'm telling my other friend about it. I'm telling my other friend about it. No. Not how many minutes. How many seconds am I going to give that person? There are 86,400 seconds in a day. Why would you give them more than 10? Why would you give them that satisfaction? That's why they did what they did. They wanted a reaction at you. You know the best way to stop a bully? Don't react. Don't cry. Don't retaliate. Then they become bored, right? Why would you let them win? Why would you give them any more of your time, any more of your energy, any more of your attention? They weren't worth that. Their opinion didn't even matter. Let me tell you, anybody who comes at you with something negative, immediately discount their opinion. Constructive criticism is something different. But if someone spreads hate, spews hate out into the world, their opinion's worth nothing. Because they're looking through that dirty mirror. Like you said, if you don't take care of it, if you don't accept that situation as it happens, as that guy's just having a bad day, that's not my fault. That's not on me. That's him. He can take that with him, and I'm going to go on with my peaceful day. I'm going to go on and have a good day despite that moment. Then you just became a little bit more mindful. Instead of adding that on and adding on the stress of what happened at work and the medical issue that you're facing and what that girl said to you and what your friend did to you, and you're just piling all these things on until that weight becomes damn heavy on your back, and you're carrying that with you every single day. You're carrying that with you through every situation you face. Let's say it again. You can't think clearly. You can't process a situation clearly when your mirror is dirty. The beautiful thing about this practice is you can take care of it as it's happening. And trust me, I fall victim to it too. I still fall into the mindset. I still think, I have these thoughts. Why would they do that to me? What did I do to them? What do they have against me? And you have to accept those thoughts as what they are. They're just thoughts. But that doesn't mean you have to attach yourself to them. You don't have to put any value to them. All right, on to the next.
If they don't understand, if they wanted to do their way, the more you teach them, the more you wanted them to do the way you wanted it, the more you be suffer. Just let them. They old enough, they know what is best for them. Even though for us, we know that is not good for them. But for them, that guy is so handsome and so good for her. But for us, it's not. But you cannot stop her. You cannot stop him. The more we try to jump in between to give them lessons, the more you will build up a wall in between you and your kids. You cannot talk with them anymore. They will walk out that door. They barely coming home. Until one day, something happened to us, they proudly come home. That is how sad it is in this world. So don't try to build any wall in between our family members, us and our kids. Just let them be. Tell them what is wrong, what is right. We teach them right when they just born for a couple of months, when they know how to say father and mother, we already taught them. They go to school, they learn a lot. And be friendly with them. Just act like you are their friends. And we work with them to do just like that. They will admire us. They will listen to us. You just tell them one thing, and if they react, let them be. Don't try to change them. Whenever they need us, they will come back for us, for sure. Which they will. But if we build the wall already, they will not come back. They will not come back even they are suffer. So let us not to do that anymore. With all these things I share with all of you, that is because I want all of us to have a peaceful life in our family. There will be no world peace if our family does not have peace. Inside, we have all kinds of defilements, delusion, greedy, hatred, angers, all kinds of bad stuff in our world, right? We live with this world every single moment, every day. And our world is not at peace. How can we expect the outside world, the bigger world, to be at peace? There is no way. Even if we have 200 venerable monks, now we have about 20. Even if we have 200 or 2,000, we still cannot make world peace. We still cannot. But for all the beings, all the human in this country and the world can make our family to be at peace every day, that will turn this bigger world, that bigger world, to be a better place to live. That when we call world peace.
Did you hear that? This is really, really relevant right now. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're going to go out there and ask for change from the world, expect the world to change, you better look inside and ask it from yourself too. You have to take a partial responsibility for all of this. It's really simple what we can do. You know, so when we face situations, the world feels really heavy right now. And I know a lot of us struggle with, I don't feel like I can do anything about it. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I feel powerless in this situation. This is what you can do. You can take care of inside. You can take care of yourself. You should probably take care of your relationships. And that blossoms outwards. If you're not paying attention to what's going on in here, I promise you, it's gonna fall apart. Your business, whatever you're creating, your project, it can't stand without you. The reason I like building this community so much is because the people like you, the people like us, we're the type to go first. The founders, they're the type to go first. They move despite fear, despite judgment. And in this walk for peace that we all individually can take a part of, that's another form, that's another act of leadership. Go first. Go heal that relationship. Don't wait for that friend to do it. You can go first. This is the leadership you need to take in regulating your own mental state and your own emotions and being prepared to deal with whatever situation comes your way. If you do it once, you can do it the next time better. And then the next time.
When there's one person who get mad, please, the rest, just be quiet. Don't try to fix anything. Just let him be. Just let her be. All we should do, just hand them a glass of water. A cold water. Hand them a glass of water with kindness. That is very important. With kindness. With love and kindness. Okay? Not trying to trigger him anymore or her anymore. But give him a kindness water that so whenever he can stay calm and cool, we can talk. We can just sit down and talk like this. And if he raises his voice, she raises her voice, we stay quiet until he's calmed down and we talk. If you cannot manage your emotion, then let us talk another day. If we can do this, our family should be should live peacefully every day. And that is how you support this mission to walk with us to Washington, D.C. But Washington, D.C. is not the final destination. We have to walk for the rest of our life until our last breath. Because this peace is something that we have to practice every day. Right? It cannot fall down from the sky. We cannot expect anybody to do this for us but ourselves. So will you walk with us from now on?
A glass of water. Think about it. You cannot think clearly when you're in a high state of emotion. Think about all the times after a heated argument, heated conversation, or a really emotional conversation, and you just keep thinking, I should have said that. You're in the shower and you're like, if I worded it like that, I would have won that argument right then and there. You found that clarity because there was space and time between all of this pent-up emotion and whatnot. And you might even still have that time between a hard conversation, but still you find yourself getting into it and really emotional. And there's no perfection when it comes to this. It's a practice, and you're going to fall through the cracks, and you're going to fall susceptible to that sadness and that anger in a conversation. It's okay, but notice it, reflect on it. And also, there's no winning an argument. No one wins an argument. But the good news is you don't have to have an argument again for your entire life. You can have conversations. If you're not writing things down yet, this is one area that I literally write things down. I write down to prepare for a conversation. Because by communicating effectively, with clarity, you helped this other person understand better. Don't we all just want to understand? Why did you do that to me? I just want to understand. One of the most intimidating practices for me in Buddhism or in mindfulness in general is meditation. Always meditation has been super difficult for me, or just breath work and focusing on our breath. But in his speech, he sat down, and in the middle, we focused on that breath work together. And so I want to do that with you as well. But before we do it, I want to give you some bits of information that have helped me approach this method of relaxation and mindfulness more successfully, if you will. The one thing that's always stuck with me is you have to treat your thoughts like clouds. You have to detach yourself from your thoughts. We are not our mind. So maybe you've heard of something called monkey brain or monkey mind. We're humans, we evolved. And a lot of what's going on up here is attached to our instinct of survival. That is why it's so easy to find what's wrong with the situation, what's scary. We are literally wired with the negativity bias because we're wired to stay safe, to keep ourselves safe, to stay alive. But in this modern day and age, that doesn't really consume us anymore. But that instinct has been left behind in us, right? And sometimes we feel like we're processing our situations by telling 5 people about it because rumination feels like problem solving. By thinking about it over and over and over again, we're solving the problem. We feel productive about it, but no. No, it is not productive. It's just burning fuel. And that's why we face this issue. We can't figure out how to shut off our brain. And when you focus on your breath, and when you try to meditate, it is our act of trying to not to regain, but just to notice. The first step, you successfully meditated. If you separated and noticed the thought as its own thing and not it being attached to who you are, you have to think you're the observer behind everything. You are not your thoughts. You observe your thoughts. Do you see the separation? If you don't shut it off, or you'll notice, if you're trying to meditate and a thought comes up, this thought you'll run at until it's the end of that thought, and it'll run right into the next one. And there's no hard stops. And you can follow that thought train till the end of the day, until you go to sleep. For me, I really suffer with this. I swear, I have ADHD. I always have 20 tabs open. I'm always trying to multitask. I'm still doing this. And I face a lot of suffering. I cause a lot of suffering for myself because of this. If you can just give it a minute for this hour or 5 minutes for the day, set aside the noise and just breathe. Just focus on your breathing. And if you're having trouble with this, remember, imagine your thoughts as clouds. Just let them pass. And the other thing that helps me with this is just, I repeat the word like blank in my brain. I just blank. If a thought comes up, I say blank. I like erase the thought somehow. Okay, so we're going to do this. On the count of 3, we're going to focus on our breathing together. We're just going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out together. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's open our eyes. Now tell me, how many of us see the monkey? A lot of monkey jumping here and there, right? Our mind is a monkey mind. It will not stop. All those are spots, water spot, toothpaste spots, weeds. Okay? Because it's already recorded in our mind, in our head. So now it's a chance. It's always up and down like that. It's rising and falling just like that. Always, a lot of the time. It's just that we are too busy chasing the outside world and the material. That is why we cannot see it.
And just so you know, transformation I lived through is I used to not be able to fall asleep for a really long time. I would sit there, I wouldn't even be looking at my phone or anything. I would just be laying in bed for more than an hour, and I still couldn't fall asleep. And my mind just kept going and kept going. And meditation has been the thing that helps me fall asleep faster now. Honestly, busy day. I don't meditate most days. I don't practice this throughout my entire day most of the days, if I'm being honest, but I do now when I go to bed. And that's okay. You don't have to force it. You can meditate wherever it feels relevant to you, you know? If it's sitting cross-legged, fine. If it's laying down on your back, fine. If you need music, if you need sounds, fine. There's no one right way to do this. But the most important thing is to notice the separation between you and your thoughts.
That we can have a new habit so that whenever somebody says something, we know how to come back instead of go forward for that person. Right? And if we know how to come back within, we will not react that easily anymore. And then when we don't react, we don't have to go to the hospital. We don't have to go to jail. We don't have to go to funeral. These are the 3 places when we react, we will go. See, laugh. So stay away from these places by coming back to our inner peace. Come back, just bring our mind back to this present moment right here and now.
He was actually really funny. And his line is pretty extreme, you know, hospital, jail. But the reality of it isn't. When we react instead of respond, situations escalate and land us in somewhere not good. when it really never had to go that far. Countless divorce cases in court. You know how much money, energy they're spending on those court cases? Something that was never worth it. Never worth the problem that festered and turned into something bigger. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've been in a bar and seen a bar fight and I've literally thought that's really embarrassing. Reactivity can cost you your reputation. Not only do we want to preserve our energy and protect our peace, if you're building something, your reputation means everything. You can't go into this with this reactivity. And you have to hold on to the present moment. Like, I have two choices here. One, I could run with this emotion I'm feeling and react and angry, and it would feel so satisfying. But is it ever really that satisfying? You finally do catch up to that person who flicked you off, or you tail them and you flick them off back. Was that satisfying? Like, really, did you have a moment that was like, yes? No, you still thought about it. You carried that with you.
It should bounce back with loving kindness, not hatred, not anger, not delusion. Is that right?
I know there are many of us that can relate to this. There is someone in my life who's been around for a very long time who definitely did not vote the way I voted. Always relatively passive. And when a certain large document bill passed, this person pointed at this bill like they were proud of it. They saw economic prosperity, the security of our nation. I looked at it and I saw billions more for militarized enforcement. One of the largest budgets we've ever seen for one of the least regulated armed agencies that exists. Taking directions from the same guy who boosts AI-generated videos of Gaza, rebuilt in gold with his name and face towering all over it, treating a real place of suffering like a branded real estate pitch. The same man who can't get through a debate without steamrolling the moderator, who doesn't hold the basic respect that my own parents raised me with. People like to count that bill as a big win, but big wins on paper doesn't mean much if the inside of our home, our families, our communities, our own nervous systems are burning out. You can't count security at the border and ignore what's happening inside the body of this nation. And it would feel natural to want to say, I told you so. Or when said person pointed like they were proud, for me to flip out. Have a response. Have a reaction. It was damn hard to bite my tongue in certain moments. But I don't regret it. Because that's not the place where your energy is productive in this fight. None of this says sit back, meditate, and watch the world fall apart. You guys, there is a certain finesse to all of this. If you watched the last episode, you know that I put camera gear in front of a shop owner and I landed myself an opportunity because it was his idea. We like ideas better if we came up with them. We connect to our transformation because it came from inside of us. So a yelling match, yelling from the outside in to someone, do this. No, our guards go up. It's not going to work. Think about the finesse. You put something in front of someone. You use storytelling. You consistently share your point of view, not in an incredibly emotional and incredibly angry way. No. Guard up. I don't care what you have to say anymore. No. Tell stories. Guys, stories are the quickest way we connect with people. Stories of struggle. Remember that. Use that. I've had situations where I could have burned that bridge. But years later, that person, for some reason, there was an opportunity because of this person. Like, what's all this behavior of cutting people off and never speaking to them again? We don't have to create this drama for our relationships, no matter how far they went, no matter what they did. If you can sit above all of that as an observer of, okay, they reacted because this happened, it blew up. They said something that was really mean. Get up on the balcony and watch the dance that's happening below you and recognize and identify and be curious about the reasons why. Why did this happen? And, they probably said this because they were in it deep and they were emotional. There's just so many factors that make up arguments, right? Because this world needs more bridges. We all need to understand each other a little better. And it's possible.
Get a piece of paper and a pen now. Write out this statement. Today is going to be my peaceful day. And I have seen these days, I have seen that sign, today is my peaceful day, almost a lot along the road. I was happy. That makes my day. Write that down, even we memorize it already. It doesn't matter if we memorize it, it doesn't matter how many times you have listened to my talk, but we should get the paper and write it, because when the hand and the head working together, it makes a difference. And then after that, read it out loud with our mouth. Today is going to be my peaceful day. To tell the universe that today is going to be my peaceful day, so no one in this world can mess it up except us. Remember, no one in this world can mess our day up. Only us. Okay? You work really hard. You deserve to have a better life. You deserve to have a peaceful life. Don't ruin it. This physical body, a lot of people ask why are you barefooted? It hurt. Step on nail, screw, glass, rock, everything. But we still barefooted. Is it torturing yourself? I say no. Because I want to practice to see what is my maximum extent that I can handle all this pain. To prepare for my last moment if I happen to go to the ER, to stay in the hospital. Because when I stay in the hospital just for 3 nights, I suffer. The doctor put the tube into my mouth and my nose. It is suffer. Then that is the time when I realize all the patients in the hospital, my family member had that too. I feel their pain. And so I want to see how I react. And luckily, I didn't react that bad. I just observe all those feelings when I step on a rock. Imagine all those open wounds. The more I try to stay away from stepping on things, the more I step on it. It's like a test. It's like a test. And every time when I step on it, it hurt all the way to the top of the head. Really bad, really terrible feeling. But then, come back. Observe it, come back. No regret, not mad. Just observe it, come back, come back, come back. That's what I did.
The admiration I have for them walking barefoot. Why do people do this to themselves? Why do they walk on hot coals? To prove a point? To prove they're tough? We are not our pain. The first time I found out about my surgery, terrible. Just, why is this happening to me? I just want to be healthy. I don't want to have to do this. All poor me. That's what was running through my mind. And then I got the surgery. And I had to sit in that pain. I literally could not escape it. I was stuck in my body. I couldn't get up. I couldn't move. I couldn't escape it. And I got a little better. Because at this point, I had started to read The Power of Now. One of the books that changed my life. And then the second time, I found out I'd have to get another surgery, but not just one, but two. 15 to 18 months of recovery. I went back into a spiral. I spiraled. I was so sad. But doing good for the world, finding a way to use my emotions to bring beauty back, was a way to cope. A way to bring yourself back into the present, to notice your pain, record your pain. Us as humans, pain and struggle is one of the biggest things that connect us. And I figured out, why do I want to be here for the world? I don't want to say productive, because the idea is not to just get more work done. But how can you find the beauty in this situation? And then I got part 1 of 2 surgeries. For 6 weeks, I was stuck in a chair. 6 weeks. I couldn't put weight. And it got even better. There's no moment where this all comes together and finally you're enlightened and no pain will ever bother you ever again. It is a continual practice. And the first time I dealt with it, I suffered a lot. The second time, I suffered less. And this last time I sat in that chair for 6 weeks, I said, I'm going to take this 6 weeks and do something with it. I'm not going to sit here and cry. Even though I had my days, I had my moments. That's okay. That's part of this all. But I got better. And I grinded for 6 weeks and I made real waves on a project I'm working on and in my business and who I am as a person. The project I'm working on is called Windbound 2, Escaping the Deep End. And it's all about major injury and near death. I have interviewed 2 really cool people and traveled very far distances to interview them. I said near death. I mean, really insane stories. And being able to connect with them and finding that community gave me a way to cope, a channel to cope through. And making this film, making art, sharing a story, for me, I feel sad, but now I have somewhere to put this sadness. Right? It doesn't have to stay in my body. I don't have to coop this up. I need to get it out of my body into something with love. Every time you complain, you create suffering for yourself. The wider the gap is between your expectation of what reality should be. I should be successful by now. I should be able to run. I can't run. I haven't ran for at least 7 months, and I won't be able to run for at least 6 to 7 more months of my life. I wish I could run. This gap of between what really is, what's your reality, and what you wish you could do, what you wish was happening. This gap right here is where suffering is created, and you create it for yourself. And you create your own suffering. Pain is a sensation. You touch a hot burner, that's a sensation. But the suffering is up here. One of the tools to solve that is relentless acceptance for what is. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. This is the discipline that we mentioned, that we talked about. The discipline to find joy despite the suffering. It's really common for us to seek money, to see money as our freedom, to chase the next big thing. But that is not our freedom. You can have freedom today, complete freedom. Money doesn't fix your problems. We think money could buy me a boat. But the second you have a boat, you have to take care of that boat. You have to pay for the gas for the boat. You have to make sure there's a place to store your boat. And that's where all that energy goes, right? So the past 2.5 years of my life, I've lived out of a suitcase, basically. I've kept very minimal things with me. And it's been one of the best exercises. And how do you deal? How do you deal with hard things, the hard situations? You just gotta zoom out and see your life as a story. When you're in it, when he talks about, going through the pain, the most successful entrepreneurs I've known, their story is filled with pain and struggle. But they put themselves there. They've put themselves in uncomfortable situations. I put myself in the situation of couch hopping. I put myself in the situation of being broke, alone, across the country. But the people who can live through that come out stronger. I zoomed out and looked at the big picture and was like, this difficulty I'm going through now will make me a stronger person, will give me more skills, will give me more resources, more energy down the line. You have to think long term. You have to think delayed gratification. I don't need this yet. I'll have it later.
We'd already tell the universe that today is going to be my peaceful day. Imagine all the people in this world. Every day, every morning when they wake up, us too, we do the same thing to spread, to throw all those loving kindness and compassion and peace messages to the universe. The universe will receive it, shower down with love and kindness, compassion and peace for all beings to receive. That is when this world become a better place to live and all beings deserve to have peaceful life. That is when peace actually happen in this world. And we expect all of us to practice and share the way of living from now on. That is how you join this mission to change this world. So all of us will be the history maker. Okay? Do not throw hatred, greedy, anger, anything that is bad, toxic, into the universe anymore. It's been received so much already. So, starting from tomorrow, do this thing for me. Can we? So now let us say one time, after I count to 3, all of us will say, today is going to be my peaceful day, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Thank you so much. You hear that sound, right? You hear that sound, how powerful it is? That energy too. If we can just do that within our family, we can see that how important, how powerful it is, how that energy can radiate to our family. We can have a peaceful life if we can just do that and practice. May you all be well, be happy and peaceful.
After the event, I wrote, we watched the city of Ridgeway, South Carolina welcome these travelers with open arms, curiosity, and endless respect. You don't have to walk thousands of miles to foster a shared connection like this. Respect, peace, and meeting others where they're at. If someone believes one way, should you try to sway them? Well, if you do, you might fail. In fact, if you push someone to change, there enters the resentment. We spend so much energy convincing others to change their beliefs, to see it our way, to move faster, be different. But the moment pressure enters the room, so does resentment. The gap between your expectations and what is where suffering is created. This walk of relentless acceptance, acceptance of your conditions, your pain, for others' decisions and who they are, this walk is not one that ends in Washington, but one which we must walk until we no longer muster. So here's the walk. For the next 7 days, pay attention. Notice when it's tempting to react. When you feel the urge to say something, to complain. When you feel the urge, stop. Notice it. Take a deep breath and reassess again. It can literally be the difference of 5 seconds between an escalation, something it doesn't have to be, and peace. And if you're ambitious, this isn't optional. An unregulated mind will sabotage your focus, will drain your energy, will ruin your relationships, and eventually the thing you're trying to build. This walk is one of relentless acceptance. Acceptance of your conditions, of your pain, of others' decisions for who they are and what they want to do. Enter a space with kindness. Be the first one to say thank you. Be the first one to smile. Create the change. Bring the love. Bring the peace. We freaking need it. Walk the mileage. Meet people where they're at.
It's thousands and thousands. I don't know how to count, but so much people. And that new year, I thought people also were going to enjoy their new year, but no. Everybody just come out to the road and wait for us to greet us and come to every talk. So I do believe that peace has been bloomed, and it will bloom more and flourish throughout this country and around the world.
I believe in us. The world is still good. Share this episode with at least one person. We need to share it.